everybody, and a very warm welcome to the latest episode of Hidden Jewels of Soul and Disco. I'm Nadine, and if you like the channel, please consider hitting that like and subscribe button. It's very much appreciated. Last Saturday we had our first live stream and we enjoyed it tremendously. And therefore we will continuing to do the live stream. So the next one will be on October the 15th at 6 p.m. GMT, and we hope that you're going to join us on the Soul stream again. On that stream, I mentioned two records which brought me into soul music, and some of you, actually many of you, got in touch with me about these two records, and therefore I decided to make a little episode about the wonderful, the most talented, one of the best vocal groups of the 70s, the 3 Degrees. When I think back of me growing up, the 3 Degrees with When Will I See You Again were always present. Next to Elvis, the 3 Degrees were a huge part in my life. So the music was always with me. And the most successful, they had some member changes. They were founded in 1963. And the most successful combination of the members were from 1967 to 1976, featuring Valerie Holiday, who is still active and still touring, Sheila Ferguson, who sang lead on most of those singles, and Fayette Pinkett, who unfortunately passed away a couple of years ago. All right, so in 1970, the 3 Degrees were signed to Roulette and released their first album. And this is the first single they had as a cover version of Maybe. I love this version. There's also a music video available of that song. I'll put the link down below. And what album was I showing when I said this got me into soul music? And this was their debut album on Philadelphia International, The 3 Degrees. Released in 1973, and it became an instant hit. When Will I See You Again was one of the most successful songs from 1973 and 1974. And around that time, they were touring the world. If you ever need a soul record, a Philadelphia International record, there are many artists on this. It's one of my favorite labels. But this is an album you should absolutely consider. It features one of my all-time favorite songs, If and When. For me, it's one of the best soul ballads you can ever imagine. Bunny Siegler, one of the writers of the song, really topped it with this one. So if you need a record in your collection, this would be my way to go. Let's open this thing up. You know what? Before we open it up, we hear some clips.
When we first met, that's what you're doing to me. The bark is melting.
I didn't promise you enough. Honestly, these women could sing and their harmonizing was just perfect. So this is the front, this is the back. I will open up the, I think YouTube won't be having a problem with it. I just showed a short time for you. So this is the inside of the record. If you have the record, and you might see that it's the dresses they're wearing are very... Well, you can see a lot. Valerie told me in an interview that they had no idea what they were wearing, and you can imagine how surprised they were when they saw the records and presented them to their parents with that picture. But anyway, it's one of the finest. I can't recommend this record enough. It's one of the finest things you can imagine. Even if you find some 45s of the 3 Degrees in some shops, go and buy them. This is a Japanese version of When Will I See You Again. This way around. go and grab them. Also, the later stuff they recorded during the later years, part of the 70s, highly recommended. When I'm being asked from friends, how do I get into soul music? Is there something you would recommend? Yes, there's one record I always recommend, and it's the live album from the 3 Degrees from 1975. It was released in 1976, and it was a Japanese only release, as you can see on the OB. You get this record for around 20 euros last time I saw it, and it's Japanese vinyl, it's death quiet, it sounds tremendously good. If you're an audiophile person, this would be a record to go. It's just tremendously good. So what do you get for your 20 euros? You get the OB if you are lucky. You get a wonderful inside. Wait. Nothing to hide here. So you get that. Like I said, that quiet vinyl. You get a calendar, a 1976 original calendar, which is very sweet. You shouldn't show that to Peter, I know, but this is just. I wish they would have recorded these performances live, so we had some footage. But anyway, you get also the sleeves with the Japanese and the English lyrics to the songs. But you're not buying this because of the gimmicks that came with it. You're buying it because of the music. So if you're finding a record without the OB and all the inner stuff, anyway, it's a fantastic sounding record. And I will have a track list up here. Yeah. They play stuff like The Sound of Philadelphia, which were their part in singing the backing vocals. They sing a Spanish version, I think it's Spanish, of It's Impossible. They sing When Will I See You Again, a Japanese version which is called Nigai Namida. I hope I spelled that correct. Everybody Gets to the Moon. MacArthur Park. Their version of MacArthur Park is just tremendously good. Dirty Old Man, Love Train. So you get all the hits. This would be, for me, the perfect record of all time if they would have sung If and When live on this record. There are on YouTube some clips of them singing If and When live, so it knocks you out of your feet. No doubt about that. So, this was my short introduction. I could make an hour-long special about the 3 Degrees. Like I said, I'm a huge fan. And Valerie Holiday, I mentioned it, is still around. She's still touring. And she shortly, just a while ago, released her debut solo album, In Bloom. And I can also recommend you, if you're a more like a jazz kind of person, like a lounge music kind of person, this is a way to go. And if you're just looking for somebody who sings tremendously well, this is also a way to go. So In Bloom by Valerie Holiday, can only recommend that as well. So this is, like I said, my short version of Hidden Jewels of Soul and Disco, because the 3 Degrees I could make, hours and hours about their history and all of that. But anyway, you ask especially about these two albums. Yes, I can, if you are getting into soul music, if you get into the sound of Philadelphia music, these are the way to go. And they are not expensive. You can easily get, like I said, the Japanese version around 20 euros last time I saw, and this one you get for 5 euros. Because, once again, this was sold millions of times, and that's good for the collector because it's there, it's available, and it sounds, like Mike from the Ingo would say, it sounds dynamite, both records. The Japanese a little bit better, but both sound great, and you heard the snippets, you won't be disappointed. So, once again, thanks for watching for this little unusual version of Hidden Jewels of Soul and Disco, but I hope you enjoyed it. Anyway, if you have questions, suggestions for other records to show, go ahead, I'll do it. And yeah, I'm wishing you a great week. Stay safe, stay healthy, listen to good music, maybe the 3 Degrees, maybe If and When. maybe In Bloom by Valerie Holiday. And yeah, I see you next time.